Since President Trump took office, ICE has been committed to removing the worst of the worst. We've seen them arrest hundreds of illegals with violent...
Immigrant workers represent a crucial segment of the workforce in the United States. Statistics reveal 1 in 5 workers is an immigrant, and approximately half of these individuals are non-citizens. Welcome, viewers, to my channel. If you're new here, please subscribe, like my video, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next update. This significant presence in the labor market implies that large-scale efforts aimed at deporting immigrants could lead to considerable job losses, not only for foreign-born workers, but also for many U.S.-born employees. The prevailing narrative that suggests deporting immigrants will magically create more job opportunities for native workers overlooks the complex realities and broader implications of such actions. Recent research has increasingly shown that immigration enforcement, particularly when it results in heightened deportation rates, will adversely affect employment opportunities for both immigrant and U.S.-born workers alike. This report delves into the potential employment consequences if the Trump administration successfully achieves its ambitious goal of deporting 1 million individuals each year over the next 4 years. The increase in deportations has the potential to drastically reduce the available labor pool, which in turn jeopardizes employers' ability to maintain their operations and fulfill financial obligations. These obligations include essential expenses like rent, machinery, and salaries for any remaining employees. The deportation of immigrants, who typically have high employment rates, removes a vital segment from the workforce. Furthermore, those who are not directly deported may opt to leave the country voluntarily to support family members or friends facing deportation. The looming fear of arrest and removal can compel remaining immigrants to restrict their engagement in the labor market, further constraining the overall workforce and destabilizing various industries. Moreover, the repercussions of such immigration enforcement extend to U.S. citizens who are closely connected to immigrant communities. Research conducted by Alsan and Yang, 2024, highlighted the effects of the Secure Communities program, which began in 2008 and linked local government databases with federal immigration enforcement mechanisms. This initiative resulted in higher rates of detentions and deportations, prompting Hispanic citizen-headed households to withdraw from federal safety programs out of fear for their immigrant family members and friends. The dramatic decline in labor supply caused by deportations can result in some employers deciding to shut down operations entirely. For example, research by Alley, Brown, and Herbst, 2024, found that the Secure Communities program led to a decrease in the number of child care facilities, adversely affecting job opportunities for both immigrant and native-born workers in that sector. This situation illustrates how interconnected the labor market is and how a loss in one area can have cascading effects throughout the economy. The threat of deportation also diminishes the bargaining power of immigrant workers, making it increasingly difficult for them to seek better employment opportunities. This situation can compel them to remain with substandard or exploitative employers, ultimately leading to lower wages and deteriorating working conditions. Such adverse conditions not only affect immigrant workers, but also impact U.S.-born workers who compete in the same job markets. As immigrant workers face challenges, their declining wages and working conditions can drag down those of all workers in the same sectors. As working conditions worsen, the willingness of all workers, both immigrant and U.S.-born, to report unsafe or unfair labor practices diminishes significantly. Research by Grittner and Johnson, 2024, found that the implementation of secure communities led to increased workplace injuries and a decline in safety complaints in workplaces with higher shares of Hispanic workers. This enforcement heightened instances of minimum wage violations, as the fear of deportation restricted workers' ability to advocate for their rights and seek recourse for injustices. The interconnected nature of U.S.-born and immigrant labor means that a reduction in immigrant workers can also diminish demand for jobs held by native workers. For instance, if there are fewer immigrant roofers available to build homes, there will subsequently be less work available for electricians and plumbers. Similarly, If the number of dishwashers and cooks declines, restaurants may need to limit their operations, thereby adversely affecting employment for waitstaff and managers. Furthermore, the shrinking immigrant population can lead to reduced consumer activity and business ownership, negatively impacting local economies. As immigrant employment and earnings decline, so too does their consumption of goods and services. Additionally, immigrants are statistically more likely than their U.S.-born counterparts to start businesses, which means that mass deportations could stifle entrepreneurship and investment opportunities in various sectors. This stagnation not only affects immigrant communities, but also has wider implications for economic growth and innovation across the country.